Okay, do it again. So we're seasoning this baked chicken.
So the way you season a baked chicken properly, I think a lot of people make the mistake of oiling the bird or putting butter on the bird. What they don't realize is that it's actually a skin. And because it's a skin, the oil will clog the pores of the skin and not allow the seasonings to permeate. And so if you're going to butter it, you butter it at the end of the process.
So why do we have water?
So the reason I put water in the bottom of the pan is, think about it, when you have a large bird, it's very easy for it to dry out in the oven. And so what you like to do is steam the chicken throughout, and in doing so, you allow the seasonings that are in the bottom of the pan to permeate throughout the breast of the chicken, so you come away with a really moist chicken. What I like to do is cover it in the beginning for maybe the first hour, and then remove the covering. The water then dissipates and you're left with a very small, shallow amount of water left in the pan.
So what did you season it with?
So the seasonings consist of some really good Himalayan pink salt, as well as ground coarse black pepper, ground rosemary, which I have ground locally at the local farmer's market. And then there's onions that also kind of help the seasoning process once the onions begin to steam. And then I simply put that in the water. I cover the chicken up with that as well. I let it sit for maybe a half an hour before it goes covered into the oven. Total bake time is about 2 hours, so you kind of want to do this in prep beforehand. If you're super hungry, this is not the meal for you. If you're planning a dinner, this is the meal for you. I typically set the oven at 400 degrees. And the rest of it is magic. It does the work for itself, and it actually tastes amazing in comparison to the prep time that's required for it.
Okay, guys, so you heard it first here. Planet Mahogany, baked chicken. Do you call it baked chicken, Renee?
It's actually just a roasted rosemary chicken. The rosemary, even though there are different seasonings that go into it, the rosemary is the dominant flavor.
See that, guys?
Once
See
it
the
steams
seasonings?
throughout.
Point, Renee. See the seasonings?
And so these are the onions right here.
With the seasoning pool.
Yeah, it's a pool of seasonings underneath the chicken, because oftentimes people season only the skin. Now, if you're someone who likes to inject your birds, that works too. I don't like that method because the injections don't typically go throughout the bird, and so you have one part of the bird that's heavily seasoned and then another that's not. This method allows for the entire bird to get the same amount of seasoning throughout, and it also leaves a really great crusty, crispy texture to the skin once you take off the top cover and let it kind of do its own thing for that last hour.
Okay. So how long are you going to cook the chicken?
This bird I'll probably cook for about 2 hours. I'll play it by ear. 90 minutes typically for a bird this size. I kind of threw the package away, so I don't remember. I eyeball it at this point. So I don't remember the exact time, the exact cook time, but we're going to come back with the finished product.
Okay, so this is part one. Planet Mahogany and his sister, Mimi Chiffon. We'll be back in about a couple of hours and let you know the finished products.
Bye.
Bye. Love.